Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to 6 News. So the shotguns in the next season of Rainbow Six Siege, which is Operation Heavy Metal, are getting a complete overhaul. And of course, this is not the first time we've seen a big change to shotguns in Siege's history. It's happened many times, pushing the guns in and out of meta, being OP, being underpowered, and everywhere in between. And they're also a pain in the ass to test because they are very inconsistent. So in this video, we'll be just testing soft wall destruction and seeing if we can see anything significantly different between old and new. And be noted, this is just kind of a first look. We're not going too in depth on this. And of course, I'm not going over the damage numbers as they are changing quite significantly on the test server right now, as we're only 1 week into this whole rework. And here is the specific claims that we're testing today.
Far more precision when you're ADS'd, far more destruction when you're not, and even more destruction when you're moving and not ADS'd. And some of you already know this actually works, and I've been doing it with the Bailiff for some time. Well, we've actually taken that feature and expanded that across the rest of the shotguns.
So we're going to start with our first test subject, which is the 612 SD shotgun. I believe this to be one of the least used in the game, and we're starting with just stationary destruction to see if there's anything different between old and new here when you are stationary. So as you can see, I would say no real difference here between the old and the new, other than my shooting speed, that's all. So no major difference. Let's move on to moving. So now you can do what you would normally do with a Bailiff, is where you move left or right and you can get bigger destruction. I've also tested moving back and forward as well here, just to see if we get any kind of different results. And overall, I don't really see anything too significant here. And of course, my testing methodology may not be good here. I hate testing weapons, but I'm just not feeling anything different. And this is different from what I was expecting, because in the presentation, I really expected to feel like I was getting way more destruction while sidestepping and things like that. And I'm just not seeing it. I'm also quite happy with my technique here because I'm bringing over what I know with the Bailiff, which is fire off the rounds quickly while sidestepping or moving to get more destruction. And I'm definitely bringing that in here. And I'm just not seeing the difference between old and new when it comes to what should be happening. Now guys, I'm an ambassador for the Champion Roadmap. If you want to actually pay to get trained to be better at Rainbow Six Siege, you can use the code ROSS for $100 off for a 6-week training program. And this is being done by the guy that originally started on Fiverr doing training programs, and now he's got a proper school going for Siege. Now let's move on to Buck, because of course he's got an underbarrel shotgun, and I thought maybe we'd see some more significant changes here with the destruction. And stationary, didn't notice anything significant at all, and they very much felt the same as well, as I did quite a few runs on both servers. And then the next test was to move while shooting so we could get that reticle flare and see if that increased destruction overall. And again, I would say no significant difference here. I did a bunch of runs and it just felt like I was using exactly the same gadget on both servers. Now at this point, I'll point out that the new rework to shotguns is definitely going to cross the buck when it comes to the damage, but it is possible the destruction here is actually unchanged from live servers, but well worth testing just to see if there is any differences. And then because I wasn't getting any results at all here, I thought I would run some simple stuff where I'd do a hip fire, an aim down sights, and then a moving hip fire to see if we'd have any major difference with the overall look of the destruction, and it all came back pretty much exactly the same. So what I decided to do was go back and test the basics because I feel like I'm missing something here. So I jumped into the live servers and did 2 tests, no moving and moving with the Bailiff, to see how the destruction is different. And what I noticed is my technique is significantly different, because the tests we've done are of course controlled tests where I'm trying to put off shots relatively accurately. I noticed my technique, which I of course do with the Bailiff all the time on live servers, is very quick, rapid fire. And it's certainly more chaotic, but it gets the job done far faster. I'm just not sure if that actually translates over to the bigger shotguns in the test server. That's where I'm having trouble finding it. And maybe it does just come down to technique at the end of the day. Now at this point I decided I'm going to have to expand my testing, so I jumped in with another shotgun, this time Cav, and this is a shotgun I have a lot of experience using. Up top is the old, which is currently the live servers, and new is the test server below. And the first shot is stationary with the rest with the reticle flaring up, and I don't see much difference here when it comes to that expansion of destruction at all. And that brings us to the conclusion for this video, which is unfortunately not much. My testing really didn't come out with anything great. This is why I hate testing weapons in Rainbow Six Siege and why you don't see that many videos on it. And I would say overall, if there is a significant difference with the destruction here that I'm just not picking up on, it might well be down to technique. And it's also possible that this doesn't transfer over quite as well to the bigger shotguns, resulting in no noticeable increase in destruction when you are flaring out that reticle with the bigger shotguns.